Hey, everyone. Okay, I want you to meet Leslie Kendall. And Leslie lives in Virginia. Hi, Leslie. So thankful that you are a part of our July Celebrity Circle this month. And so the reason that I invited you to be in the Celebrity Circle is because you started doing some things that are just like pretty splashy and spectacular and unusual. And you've always had a great run with Touchstone. You've been a group leader for a long time and all that. So why don't we back up and tell me how long you've been with Touchstone, what have you enjoyed most, things like that. Let's start with that.
Sure. So I have been with Touchstone Crystal for 2 years. This month is actually my 2-year anniversary.
Congratulations.
It'll be on July 16th.
Wow.
So I have been kind of pumping it up in my VIP group. Excited that it's been a whole 2 years. Hard to believe. And what I have enjoyed most, I would say, would be meeting all these wonderful, amazing women, forming great friendships with them, hosts, customers, Sparkle Sisters, just all the amazing community that I've had of women through Touchstone Crystal.
Mm-hmm. And so you went to the Dream Big Leader Retreat back at the end of May. What was your takeaway from that? I was so glad you were there, and I was so curious to hear what did you take away from that?
It was such a great retreat. I was so glad that I was there too. I mean, I took away a lot. There was so much to take away, but I would say if I had to, pinpoint something that, stood out a lot, it would be, I've been trying to work on rebuilding my team. So working on sponsoring. So for me, it was really the whole concept of just ask, ask everyone. And furthermore, detach yourself from the response, from the answer. I think that's kind of something that can be very difficult for a lot of us. I know it's very difficult for me, that you ask, you throw out the idea of the business and maybe you don't get a response. Maybe they say no. Oh, is it something about me? Is it me that they don't want? So trying to detach yourself from that when you are asking everyone. And those reminders, from Lynn Conway about that, I think were huge.
That's really neat. So last year in 2020, you sponsored 5 team members throughout the year, which is great. But I observed that since May, you've sponsored 5 already. And what I know mentally what shifted, practically what shifted? What propelled you into this great June with all the sales that you had and all the sponsoring that was going on?
So I think part of it for me was the leader retreat itself. So that was my the first time I didn't travel far, right? It was like, really kind of close to home, but it was an overnight trip. It was the first overnight trip I had done with Touchstone Crystal. It was the first leader retreat that I had done with Touchstone Crystal. So it was a real opportunity to connect with women outside of Team Sparkle. Team Sparkle is wonderful, but the more opportunities we have to brainstorm and, connect and support other women, the more benefit for us. So I really think having those opportunities to just kind of connect with so many, other leaders, and from all over, the country, different teams, different perspectives, and then to know that I would get that and more with Cancun because I would have those connections and I would really get to travel because I haven't really had a real trip on an airplane yet with Touchstone. So knowing that, by focusing on that sponsoring, it would give me these opportunities to connect with more Sparkle Sisters and travel. That really kind of motivated me and got me going, as I would say.
That's awesome. That's so much fun to hear. You made me so happy. All right. So we have a lot of people who've been with the company for a little while, a year, 2 years like you. And what advice would you give to consultants who've been around for a little while and who want to really revamp their businesses like you have been doing these last 2 months or so?
So I would say to either reconnect if you don't feel connected with your direct upline or with your leader or director. I would say to reconnect with them or reconnect with team members, or just to create new connections. Whether it's you're partnering even with somebody on a different team. Or not directly within your downline. I think, being able to brainstorm with other women to see what's working and what's not working. And you can use that as a motivator too. So I would say trying to reconnect or create new connections to help really get you some new, different ideas, or revisit ideas that maybe you tried before, but had fallen so far on the back burner, you even forgot about them.
Right. So in other words, don't stay stuck if you feel stuck.
Yeah, definitely.
Mhm.
And I also would
Mhm.
say to have a plan. So I know a saying that we use a lot. I don't know if it's just on Team Sparkle or it's throughout all of Touchstone. I'm not sure, but a
Mhm.
goal without a plan is just a wish. So you have to have a plan. You have to have a goal and you have to have a plan. So if you have a goal without having a plan, work with the women around you to, or if you're someone who prefers to do it on your own, you can do it on your own too. Really, everybody's different. We all do things differently, but if you need those connections, team up with someone that also has a goal but doesn't have a plan to make that happen.
That makes a lot of sense. I think that's just great advice. So often we get withdrawn and into ourselves and thinking, oh, it's just me. I can't do this, and not realizing that anything that we're experiencing is universal within the company, and that there are people who can help you see outside of our own mindsets. Would you say that that's what you've been doing a lot of? Working with people outside of the group that maybe you were working with over the last 2 years? Have you expanded a little bit, or I know this is not in my list of questions for you, but I just was curious.
I really think I got a lot of ideas from the ladies at the retreat.
So that was did it. Yeah.
Yeah, because there's we're all, we're all in different places. Even though we are all leaders, we're still all in different places in our business, mindset wise, locale wise, all of that. So I think being able to kind of, hear about other people's struggles, hear about other people's successes, and what does that mean? How does that impact what you want to do, or what you could be doing? Was important for me, and it kind of like gave me that spark to, it just gave me a new spark, I would say.
Yeah, it sure did. I've just been so excited to watch you and to watch all of your success, and I know it just makes it that much more fun for you, doesn't it?
It does. And I just
Good.
imagine all the, the connections that can be made, the friendships that can be made with a longer trip in Cancun, because we're going to be there for a longer time.
Yeah.
It's going to be, a nice kind of a little bit of an intimate group, and it's going to be a lot of fun, and think of all we can learn from each other, not just in terms of the business, but in terms of, like just life experiences, memories, all of that.
Yeah, I love it. Absolutely. Well, congratulations. I'm so excited for you. And I know you've already earned the Cancun invitation. So congratulations to you. And can't wait to see what you do next, Leslie. Thanks again.
Thank you, Betsy.